Hey you guys, and welcome back to the weird part of YouTube, aka my channel. So the last few days have been extremely weird, scary, an abomination, whatever you want to describe it, even though it's extreme. These are some of the things that people all around the world have been feeling, myself included. Things like, why did this even happen? Do we deserve this? Cancel 2020. Although I am totally in the cancel 2020 gang, because 2020 is not going so great, and it's not even 3 months yet, and the quarter hasn't gotten over. There's no spring equinox yet, but still it's so weird. And yeah. But hopefully we all get over this real soon and go back to where we were, and let's hope that this gets over really soon. But for it to get over really soon, here are the tips that we all need to follow. Although you must be in quarantine, it's not just Netflix and binge, or doing something like self-discovery, which is all great, by the way, but all of us have a moral responsibility to flatten the curve. And what that means is basically, the less variables or the less number of people go outside, the less number of chances you have at basically catching the virus or acting as a vector or a carrier for this virus for other people to spread. But what that means is that there's only so much ventilators, there's only so much hospital beds that can be equipped in the system. Although with a large population, there's only so much. So because no US hospital or no infrastructure anywhere around the world can facilitate the entire population going down, or more than half of the population going down, or a very large percentage of the population going down. So with that being said, here are some of the tips that I'm going to share, which will help you get through this period and hopefully flatten the curve, raise your immunity, and basically survive this thing. First of all, before I start sharing my tips, always use trusted source, basically CDC website. There's also a YouTube channel for them. Again, I've linked them down below so that you can check them out. They have they update very frequently so that you can basically check what's the status, and that's about it. Trusted news source as well, for example Apple News or anything that's verified, so that you can get up to date, or your local government channels, so that you can just stay up to date as to what's happening and how you can help in, again, flattening the curve, and hopefully this virus gets over soon. So here are the tips. First, stop fear mongering. Like panic shopping is not the way to go. I think that's one of the easiest ways to spread virus. For example, I have 2 videos, again linked down in the description below, where I saw there was no toilet paper. Although I went to the store really early, there was still some crowd, but there's Costco, there's so many other shops where it's like completely packed. You're like waiting in the line, you're the 200th person or the 300th person to go inside, and there's no 6 feet apart distance because there's so much crowd, right? So try to avoid going to those stores. Try to stay indoors as much as possible. If you can't, just go do one errand in the whole week and then just get it over with. I do agree that there's so limited supplies that you need to go shop by shop, but just try to stay at home, limit your socialization at all costs, and try to keep the distance. The safe distance is 6 feet, which the CDC website recommends. More is better, but 6 feet is the minimum. So try to avoid going to public places like that, and I think that's the easiest way to spread the germs. It's like literally like a petri dish, so just avoid it at all costs. I'm sure you're healthy, but you could be a carrier of the disease, or someone else could spread it to you, and later on you could basically catch that virus. I hope not, but that's another possibility. So again, keep the social distance. The second thing to raise your immunity, which is basically drinking a lot of lemon water. I've been trying this out for the past couple of days, actually more than a couple of days, like close to 3 weeks, and it's basically like emergency, the vitamin C shot, basically to raise your immunity. And I've been feeling great. There are times where you feel nauseous, you feel sick, but having lemon water in the morning or as frequently as I can help me not feel sick and feel healthy. Even if you feel like you're gonna develop a phlegm or you're developing a sneeze or cough, just having that is like magical. It's like a magic potion. If you don't have lemon water, because getting lemon means you need to go to the grocery store, you can also use apple cider vinegar. Again, great way to boost your immunity. Here's how I make my lemon water. I like it a bit tarty or sour because I just like it a bit sour, because if you just squeeze one lemon, you don't really feel it's just plain water at that point. But whatever it is, whatever you prefer, just make sure you have some sort of immunity booster every day in the morning during this desperate times. The other way also is to have like turmeric and ginger shots. You do get those tiny shots in Whole Foods and other places. They are kind of expensive, but you can make one at home as well. You just need to have turmeric, and you can mix it with milk, just water, plain water, add it to your dishes. That's what most Asians or Indian households do. So it's a really great antibiotic, and it's great. So again, great immunity booster. And if all this is too taxing for you, you can always use Emergency, the vitamin C packet, if you have them, and they're easily accessible. And then you can just have that as frequently as possible. So those are a couple of the options to raising your immunity. There are also like having anything that's citrusy or lemony, or anything that has a lot of vitamin C, whatever contains most number of vitamin C is basically really great for raising your immunity. And you can overdose on those. There's no problem with that, because it's actually great. Most animals except for humans have an abundance of vitamin C, and humans don't. So you don't care about overdosing, just have it, and if you feel good, that's great. If you don't, then you obviously need to cut back on it. So do what's good for your body. So I just squeezed a lemon, like about 3 lemons worth. They're really big. Like, this is my hand, and this is how big a lemon is. I used a squeezer, and this is my lemon water. I like it a bit concentrate because I like to taste the tartiness, and this is supposed to raise your immunity. And yeah, this is great. So that's how you raise your immunity. The second thing is that not just having these shots is important. You also need to eat healthy during this time. I went to the store. I saw that there was no meat. I don't eat meat, but there was no meat, but there's plenty of vegetables. Obviously, this shows the characteristics of people here who don't want to eat vegetables but prefer meat. So you need to have vegetables, you guys. It's very, very important. Again, it helps in raising immunity. It helps fight all these bad viruses and stuff. So eat healthy. Coming to eating healthy is also, you need to cut back on sugar. Why I say that is that sugar is usually a catalyst for these viruses. The viruses can spread really easy. Again, you don't really see that if you have a huge amount of vitamin C or great immunity, because they kind of eliminate each other. But if you don't, and if you're like overloading on sugar, the viruses can basically act on your body real quickly and basically build their bases really quickly. They build off the sugar molecules. So try to cut back on sugar as much as you can. I know just getting off the wagon can be really difficult and can sometimes make people really nauseous and lot of side effects. So this can be kind of weird, but cutting back sugar is really, really, really important, and you would feel really, really healthy after that. So those are basically eating healthy and stuff. The other thing is that with respect to eating healthy and not going to the store that often, you must be thinking, hey, how do I, there's no food, right? So again, cutting back on your portion sizes. Rationing is also very important. Don't have as much as you would before. Again, try not to go outside as much as possible, because that's the easiest way to catch those viruses. I know I've said this like plenty of times in this video, but it's really important. So if you eat like 10 granola bars, for example, try to eat just one, just as a scale of example. So just cut back on your portion sizes just a little bit so that you can last a little longer. Try to not waste food during this time, and it's very important. And so be your best judge. I, for example, have gone into a more fasting focused lifestyle. So I don't really eat 24 hours or 48 hours. I do that so that I can have as much food as I want, and for a really long time, so that I don't really go out. Again, fasting might not work for everyone. You can also do intermittent fasting, and basically anything that can avoid you to eat, because coming back to the main important thing, eating less makes you poop less, and poop less means you use less toilet paper, which is something that we're super scarce right now. I don't know why a respiratory tract disease like coronavirus, which affects your breathing and basically causes illness and stuff, has anything to do with diarrhea and how you poop. So toilet paper is really, really difficult to get. Everywhere else it's sold out, and basically if you want more toilet paper, you have to go to the store, thereby risking your life. So toilet paper is really, really scarce right now, so avoid it at all cost. But I don't really use toilet paper. I hardly have any toilet paper. I just have one toilet paper in my house. I just keep it just like that as a showpiece, as a centerpiece, because I use a bidet. Bidets are great. Last year, actually, around the same time frame, I installed a bidet in my house, and things have been great. You're washing your booty with water, so that's amazing. And after which, I can never go back to using TP like a commoner. So installing a bidet is super easy. You don't need any plumber. Link in the description again. So if you want to buy that off Amazon or any other site, do that, and your life is changed. The other thing is that if you don't have that, you can also use a Toto tumbler. It's like this Tupperware thing, which you also get it off Amazon, where you can use it to wash your booty. Again, it's very simple. So there are a lot of bidet sort of things in Amazon. The least expensive option is to use a Tupperware, literally any Tupperware, and just fill it with water and do your thing. So those are the easiest ways. Again, try to be creative around this time. Try and avoid going outside is all I'm trying to say. Is like just don't go outside. And if you don't have TP, use that. It's not the end of the world situation if you don't have TP. I mean, except here, I grew up in Dubai, and I never used toilet paper. We didn't have toilet paper. It was kind of a luxury. It was always bidet, and most part of the world uses bidet or the Toto tumbler sort of a mechanism to wash their booty. So do that. Be creative, and and it's also zero waste. So you'll be wasting way less plastic or tissue, and less number of trees that are going to be cut down just for you. So #team trees. All right, so the third tip, I don't know which number I am, I literally forgot, is again coming back to tissue rolls, is basically your kitchen rolls. You don't need Bounty, you don't need all that stuff. You can just have washcloths, again cotton cloths, or your used t-shirt, something that you're going to donate to Goodwill like soon. You can just grab some items from there and just check the absorbency rate and just use that in the kitchen. And once it gets dirty, you can toss it in the washing machine. That way you don't really need Bounty or kitchen rolls. Like, it's as simple as that. I've never used a kitchen roll. It's not just because of my recent transition to zero waste, but in general, even growing up, my mom used to just see my used t-shirts that is like too gross to wear outside, or I'm like grown out of it, and she used to just use it in the kitchen, and easy peasy, it was as clean as possible. And that's how I grew up. And it's super simple. Again, you can, if you really want to, you can just go back to buying kitchen rolls once this period is over. But again, get creative. It's really, really helping nature. You don't really need Bounty or kitchen rolls. You can just use old cloth or old towels. You just cut them up, and then they're actually really more absorbent than Bounty. So picker upper, whatever, is much better than your towels and whatever stuff. So do that. So the other thing that I encountered the other day when I was shopping was that people were hoarding bottled water. There was literally no bottled water. Everyone was like, bottled water. And time and time again, we have been shown the reality that single-use plastics can be so harmful for the ocean. From whatever I learned from coronavirus is that what we do to the animals, we torture them, comes back to us, and hence we are facing this adversity. I truly believe that. It's just my opinion. So what happens to single-use plastics is that you think you recycle them, but it's actually ending up going to the ocean, or ending up as microplastics which the animals feed. Again, they might have some diseases, and then it gets back to us, or it's just bad for the environment on the whole. So I don't know why we need to use bottled water. I don't know. It's not safe, you guys. Crystal Geyser is not sourced from the mountains, or I'm just saying, like, bottled water is just your normal tap water. They might just use reverse osmosis and just claim it as spring water and stuff. There's no check or inspection done saying that, hey, it's sourced from the spring. So don't believe that. Just use normal tap water. If your tap water is disgusting to taste, I live in San Jose. It's literally soapy water. I go to these gallon filling machines where it's a gallon for 39 cents. I just fill them up and I use it, and once it's done, fill them up again. It's really cheap. There's literally no crowd now because everyone's hoarding bottled water. So good luck there. So that, or you can use filters like Brita filters, or just filter your water again and again. You can also use squeeze lemon, like the first step. You just squeeze it up so that you don't really like the taste. It just like eliminates the taste basically. Or you can add some cumin seeds into the water. Again, boost your immunity and just cuts out the flavor. So those are some of the things that you can do. Again, bottled water is really, really bad. Don't do that. It's not good, you guys. I mean, it's really, really not good. And I think I'm done here. But one thing that you can do is to reflect on your habits, change it, and once you do all this, hopefully you stay at home, you're healthy, and we help in flattening the curve. Again, experts say that it takes only 15 days of quarantining yourself to actually flatten the curve, and things hopefully will get better, and we can go back to doing our jobs and whatever we were doing before this. So do remember all these tips, and hopefully this all gets over. I love you all so much, and stay safe. Wash your hands again and again and again and again. If you touch your face, I do sometimes unintentionally, it's involuntary. Do wash your face as well as part of your washing your hands as well, and disinfect your house and keep it clean. And that is all, y'all. Sending all the love your way. do subscribe, like, share this video, and if you have any other comments, more tips, comment down below. And that is all, y'all. See you later in another video. Bye.